Yeah, really interesting. The birth of Multisite kind of happened, at least from my perspective, in two primary areas. One of them was Southern California at North Coast Church, where I served, and the other one was in, believe it or not, Rockford, Illinois, with Heartland Community Church with Mark Bankert and Doug Thiessen. And so, sort of simultaneously, unbeknownst to each of us, what was happening was in Rockford, Mark Bankert was part of Willow Creek Community Church, but lived in Rockford and wanted a Willow Church in Rockford. At North Coast, we had run out of really good time slots. We were completely out of space in our worship center. People couldn't get in. We were so congested. So we needed space at a good time. And so what happened simultaneously was the folks at Heartland wanted to use Willow Creek teaching, but in Rockford, Illinois. So they did that. And at North Coast, we had a campus model because Southern California, we can use the outdoors as our hallways and highways and byways within the church. And so we started doing venues. Well, both of those happened simultaneously in September of 2018. It's been 20 years now. Matter of fact, started exactly the same weekend. And out of that, there was a synergy that happened that the venues actually worked super well to reach different psychographic profiles within the church. And then what we found out from Heartland Church was this, that the same ministry, the same teaching could be delivered by video in a different place and really resonate with that community. And so not only those churches, but a bunch of others like Seacoast and Community Christian Church and Willow and a bunch of churches began to explore New Hope Hawaii and others. And Leadership Network really kind of became the flagship organization that helped fuel that flame of innovation within this sort of modern day multi-site ministry movement. They knew and understood what we were doing over at North Coast. They knew and understood what was happening at Willow. They knew and understood what was happening over at Seacoast and Community Christian. And I can remember the day, actually 9/11, when a group of us gathered at Dave and John Ferguson's place, Community Christian in Chicago. And then the day that those of us that were around will never forget when those planes crashed into the two towers in New York. Of course, things sort of changed from that particular meeting, but it spawned an energy and an idea and a hope and fueled an innovation that was ready to happen because of the culture, and that is one size does not fit all. We can do church in a different way, in a way that reaches more people and more significantly than a one-size-fits-all type church. So whether it was multiple sites or multiple venues or multiple forms, they started springing up all over, from the house church type movement to the different types of sites. And now we have multi-site churches that are planting mega churches as a plant for their site. That certainly wasn't happening at the beginning. And so there's been this iterative process that has happened with sites. And from small to medium sized to super huge to now even churches that are building facilities, multi-million-dollar facilities, and filling them up right from the start. Here's the point. Multi-site is here to stay. We've only seen 20 years worth of it. And the entrepreneurs and early adopters have been there, done that. They got the t-shirt, the little pin, the baseball cap. They've got all of that already. And there's this next wave of churches that we're just beginning to see that have bigger and better dreams. Because the original people in multi-site ministry are a little bit like Lewis and Clark. They want to find the Northwest Passage, and they know there's an ocean somewhere to the west. How do they get there? Well, history teaches us that they did find their way. They had all kinds of help in the beginning, but they made massive mistakes, numerous mistakes, but they got there. Well, the people that followed got there quicker, better, cheaper, faster, the whole thing. And so the innovation in multi-site that's coming is more, quicker, better, faster. It's going to be phenomenal to see as God raises up different leaders from within our country and other countries that transform this idea of multi-site into things that we have not seen yet. So I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with that. And if you are encouraged in this avenue of expansion of the kingdom, man, I would encourage you, get in touch with us here at Generis, because we are a network of tons of churches that have done this, that have scar tissue, that's had successes among the mistakes that have been made, and we can guide you around the roadblocks, keep you from stepping on the landmines, and help you find your Northwest Passage that makes it just a superlative ministry for you to be involved in.